Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be talking about Sanskrit and its analogy with Linux and software in general. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is why I'm making video in English, and let me tell it. So there's no any point in making video in Sanskrit if people are not going to understand it or people are not going to watch it, because there is no any watch time if I make videos in Sanskrit. So I've done this decision that I'll upload videos in English now. Now, it is not that I'll not upload videos in Sanskrit. I'll upload it, but when I'm free, because now I'm not free. I'm just doing this drawing assignments or something like that. I'm just doing it, right? So I'm gonna do that and just talk about this. Okay. So today I'm gonna be talking about learning Sanskrit and how you should learn Sanskrit. The first thing is, I know many of you may be surprised with my accent, but this is how I speak, okay? If I do not speak like that, then what happens is my fluency in English goes away. So similarly, when I speak in Sanskrit, my accent will change, okay, automatically. It is how I speak in Sanskrit. And it's when I speak my native language, that is the core native language now, Sanskrit and English, even but those two are near native. But basically my co-native is Nepalese. So when I speak in that, there is a change in accent a little bit. So that's basically the thing, even change in personality is there. And this video is going to be long video, so you may take this as a podcast or something like that. So basically the thing. Now, let me give the context here. So I've seen the tweet from Indian History, okay, this guy has tweeted that I'm saying this guy because he's the greatest scholar I know by his tweets, but many of the people are anonymous and I do not know anything about them. Even many Sanskrit speakers, they're just anonymous in Twitter, except me, you know, I'm just extra one. So basically he is the greatest scholar from the tweets we can get it. But he has said that these levels are from top, and the context is that there are various layers of difficulty in Sanskrit language. And he gives an analogy, right? So what he says is, anyways, it should be obvious from this that just because we cannot talk it like Kalidasa or Vyasa does not mean that we do not speak Sanskrit, or we are not speaking Sanskrit. We do not talk like Rudyard Kipling. I do not know who this guy is. Shakespeare, I know this one. Chaucer, I do not know this one. In English either. So it makes perfect sense. And he says that, this is not the perfect analogy. Anyway, okay, so this was the context and an idea emerged, and I wanted to make a video, make an analogy about Sanskrit speaking, or, Sanskrit learning with Linux software in general, or you can say Linux learning or something like that. So I'm going to be talking about this thing here, and I will do the assignments and talk in the same time, so maybe there is some disturbances at the middle of the videos. And the other thing I want to talk about is that why I do not make long Sanskrit videos, because there is no any point in that, because many people even do not watch that long Sanskrit videos because they do not really want to learn Sanskrit. So this video is for them who want to learn Sanskrit and they do not know what is the road way, even though resources are there. Okay, there are many websites and many things like that. Okay, the pinned tweet of Mr. BVAAL. Well, okay, I do not know how you are supposed to pronounce it, but yeah, the pinned tweet of him, or you can just go to this, this Telegram group, t.me, Sanskrit lovers, maybe Sanskrit lovers. So you can go to this group too. Okay, this is also a resource. There in the pinned message you can just see it. So if you have the resources, even though if you have the resources, you're just confused how to learn Sanskrit, what is my path is going to be like. Okay, so this video is about it, and I'm going to be comparing, the Sanskrit learning, or the road of Sanskrit learning, with analogy with Linux and software in general. So let me start it. So why I choose, the first thing is why I choose Linux and software in general, because it is a little similar to Sanskrit, and I do not by any means, I do not mean that Sanskrit is like command line and things or something like that. Sanskrit is not like Linux, but I can analogy, or what the verb is, I do not know. So I can make an analogy between those two, and it seems to be great when I was writing this. It took 5 minutes maybe in writing this. So this is not just these are the main topics, and if I press tab in, it's going to open. So basically that is the case. Now there are some reasons why I choose this analogy. So let me start without wasting any time. So the first thing is the difficulty and effort. How much effort you're gonna you're gonna invest in learning Sanskrit, okay? And I'll talk about output and what the labha you're gonna get. That is, what is the output if I do that? And the second one, the expertise, how much expertise and what you're going to do with that expertise in Sanskrit. And freedom and information and Unix punish, that another one. That's just an analogy, I'll explain it. Even if you do not have any, any prior experience in Linux or Sanskrit in general, you're going to be enjoying this video. So I think you're going to be enjoying this video. So if you like this video, just like, subscribe, share, and whatever else every YouTuber says. So that is the thing. Now let me open this. Difficulty and effort, how much effort you're going to give to Sanskrit. So basically you're going to give a little bit of effort to, where's my protector? Since I'm doing my assignments, I do need a protector, so I'm not seeing it. So whatever it is, I'm going to just draw the line. So the thing is here, levels of difficulty. There are many levels of difficulty in Linux and Sanskrit in general. So here's the thing, if you know Linux, then you're going to understand this just quickly, okay? So I'm going to explain each of them with analogy in Sanskrit, how you're going to do it. So the first level of difficulty when you learn Sanskrit, at first it's like 30 days campaign in Sanskrit or something like that, 10 or 15 days campaign in Sanskrit. The first level is this KDE GNOME, and if you look at Linux, okay, if you do not have any knowledge of KDE and GNOME, they are just a desktop environment or user interface which is very easy. So the noob in Linux, okay, is going to use KDE GNOME, or normie, okay, who is a normal person. What it is going to do is he's going to just use KDE GNOME for user interface. So basically at this point what you say is this one, okay, Mama Nama Darshana. So this is the first sentence maybe, okay. So if you take any 30 days Sanskrit Bharati class or whatever like that, the campaign can be there, then this kind of Sanskrit you're going to speak now. You're going to be speaking this kind of Sanskrit that is KDE GNOME in analogy with Linux and software in general. So the other one is Window Manager. This is what I'm using right now, and my Sanskrit expertise or Sanskrit difficulty effort that I'm investing right now is in this second part, that is Window Manager. I use a window manager in Linux and I speak like a window manager. At this point what you're going to speak is you're not going to say Mama Nama Darshana, or you're not going to say Tavanama Kimati. You're going to say something like Kimte Nama, which is more more traditional. I'm going to say not so traditional, but they're just more relevant, not relevant, I do not know. They have a Hardik in Sanskrit, so I do not know the real English word. Maybe I'm not so good at English. I'm just good at speaking it. No, my vocabulary is not that English. I'm just saying great. So Kimte Nama, or you're going to say Darshanoham, right? So basically the second one is the window manager thing. Look at that. Okay, you've transcended, or you've ascended a little bit from KDE GNOME to window manager. And after that, you're going to brag, and you're going to say, by the way, I use Arch. That is a Linux distribution or Linux operating system that is a little bit difficult to use. So, and then I'll see with Sanskrit. So, let me close this. Okay. So, by the way, I use Arch. Okay. By the way, I use Arch is a meme in the Linux world. Okay. What it explains is about something like a nerd who's going to use their operating system. They have a text-based installer or something like that. He's just a nerd or something like that. That's just a meme, but it is efficient, and you're going to make words when you reach this stage. That is, by the way, I use Arch. You're going to make your own words, and you're going to do compounding, sandhis, and something like that. Okay, and after that, you're going to go one step further. And by the way, I use Arch. It is like reading Ramayanam and Mahabharatam. So it's gonna be Sanskrit in Ramayana and Mahabharata, something like that. So Gentoo forever, it is the same as saying the Kalidasas one. Kalidasas, yeah. So basically, Kalidasadinam iti kathitam shakyate. Oh, sorry. Let me speak in English. So basically, if you go to Gentoo forever, then what it is going to be? It's going to be like Kalidasa's Sanskrit. Okay. So this is just speaking difficulties. Okay. The most that you're going to reach is, by the way, I use arch because Kalidasa's Sanskrit is very, very, very difficult to speak. You may speak a little bit of, what it is called slangs from Kalidasa's one. For example, a great slang that I just love it, like Mati Vishramam Pihitam. So this is a great slang. Okay, so I just like this slang, but this is very difficult to construct in your mind and speak it. But this is a slang, so I can speak it, right? And another one you can say is itastap. So this one is, this one means to come here. Okay, itastavat. If you call someone, then you can say itastav, just come here. Okay, so it makes no sense, but its meaning is like that. Okay, itastavat agamyatam. That is the full version, but you do not generally say that agamyatam. Now, the Kalidasa Sanskrit, you can speak at the level of Sutradhara. That is the organizers of the play in Kalidasa's play. Okay, plays. So basically, the Sutradhara speaks a little bit simple Sanskrit, but if you go to the characters, then they use very, very, very difficult Sanskrit or something like that. So Linux from scratch is the Sanskrit from the Veda, okay, or whatever. So Veda, I'm not going to write everything. So Veda, so whatever it is, okay, Upanishads and everything. This is just spoken Sanskrit. I'm talking about spoken Sanskrit. Many of you will argue that Veda was not spoken, whatever it is. So because the Paninian Sanskrit is not, covering Veda. It is covering in some ways, but since it is just whatever, you may understand if you're a Sanskrit speaker. But I'm going to say that this is just difficult, the most difficult one. Okay, so basically that is the king, and it is not that it is that difficult to understand in the comparison with Kalidasa's Sanskrit, but it is difficult to understand the context because it is very, very, very old text. And if a very old text is losing context, is very easy. The one of the major reason for losing the old context is that it is very old. So we do not understand what they are saying in the Vedas, since we have lost the context. So basically, because of that, Vedas are very, very difficult to translate, and meanings change, and because everything happens, right? So Vedas is like that, Linux from scratch. So Linux from scratch is making Linux from the ground up. So that is going to be difficult as reading or translating Vedas. So I'm just talking about spoken Sanskrit here. I'm not talking about writing. Now, let's go to writing, and that is when it becomes a little bit interesting. So expertise in writing. So let me minimize this. So expertise in writing. The first thing, if you are starting to write, okay, if you have reached here anywhere between KDE GNOME and Window Manager, you're going to start writing. So you're going to start writing, and after starting to write, what you're going to write? The first thing that you're going to write is bloat. That's if you start to write, and if you learn about some masters and everything, you're going to write bloat. Okay, you're going to write bloat. For example, what the heck? Okay. So here's a command that is a useless command. It works, but it is useless. Okay. So basically, what I want to say here, you're going to learn Linux in both of them. So cat is a utility in Linux. Basically, it is a utility in Linux which previews the file. So you can say cat. I don't have. Okay, com.c. So this was one of my C assignments. It prints the thing that is inside the com.c. But if you grab something here, let me grab printf. So this is a useless use of cat because you should not do that. Now, you can do that, but you should not because it is useless use of cat. So grep, what you can do is com.c and printf. So it's going to work the same way. So I'm sorry, what the heck happened? So grep, printf, I think the positional argument is like that. So com.c, what the heck? I think a file, it works. So it is just a grep command, okay? This grep command is going to work. The cat is not necessary. So I'm going to make a little bit of a small analogy. For example, this one. So here, this visarga is blocked, okay? We do not need it. Just delete. Visarga one. Oh man. Okay. So this is the correct one, but this is also valid, I suppose. I do not know really, but this is a bloat because it is not needed and it's a little bit difficult to pronounce. Many people pronounce Aishahakaha, which is wrong, but whatever it is. The thing is that you're going to write bloat at first when you complete speaking. Okay, you're going to write bloat at first. So this is expertise in writing. And the other one is after that you're going to learn the sandhi and this bloat will go away. Now you're going to learn samasa. Okay, it's like, you know, compounding two words together. You're going to compound two words together, make new words. Okay, something like that. You're going to make new words. Your sentence is going to be super cool, and something like that. After you've learned sandhi and samasa, after that sandhi and samasa. So let me write sandhi and samasa. So the other one is bash scripts. Bash scripts are basically sandhi and samasa overdone. Not so overdone, but done with the alankar. So done with the alankar, whatever it is like writing of dandi. Okay, so it is very complex, you know, writing. So Bash scripts is always going to be gadya here. So what is gadya? It is not the padya. That means it is not a poem, but it is in a sentence, in a paragraph. You're going to write paragraphs, sentences like dandi. Okay, he's super cool. He's super cool poet, not really poet, but yeah, poet, but he writes in Gadya. He used to write in Gadya. So basically, Dandi. You're going to be Dandi in this Bash scripts. Okay. After that, you're going to write Lua, Python, other scripts, and you're going to go, you're going to get the expertise in Dandi. Actually, I think that the Dandi should be here. So here is Dandi. And here should be, you know, just general sentences and general paragraphs, so general paragraph. So you're going to write general paragraphs here, Lua, Python, all those scripts. It's going to be like Dundee's one. Okay, it's going to be super complex. It's going to seem so super cool, something like that. And after that, you're going to go to the Padya. Okay, so this is the Padya. So after you've learned Gadya, you're going to go to Padya. So Padya is poem. So it's going to be very, very, you know, beautiful. Listening to this one. Okay, let me sing this. Saralamasti Sanskritameva tu. So it is very, very difficult. I'm going to say beautiful. So it's also difficult to compose. So after doing Lua, Python, and other scripts like Dandi, which is very long, words with many of compounding and sandhis and everything. After that, you're going to go to C programming. Padya, you're going to make poems, right? So after you do poems, what you're going to do is your poem is going to be more complicated. It's going to be having alankara. It's going to have more beauty. So it's going to be more difficult to understand too. So assembly, right? It's going to be like assembly. So if you are a great programmer, if you are assembler, so basically you can decode this. But yeah. Yavatoya dhara 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 bhudhara. For many, it does not make any sense, but it has sense if you know Sanskrit, very much. Then you can just understand. I do not understand it. I have to look at the dictionary or anything. I have to look at it very closely in order to understand it, something like that. So that is what it happens when you read this state of assembly. The other one is object code. Now, object code is very difficult to decode. So katapadaya, So katapayadaya. It's a numerical representation of in Sanskrit. It is one of the numerical representation. I've made a video in representation of numbers. So basically, you can just look at the video. Okay, that's a great video, by the way. So subscribe at this point. So object code is going to be katapayadaya. So after that, you're going to do binary, which is binary, which is just like this. Okay, this seems to be like binary, right? No. It does not make any sense to a normal person, but it is, kind of compiled program, right? So it is very, 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 jatila vyakarana sambalitam iti tatra kimapi kathyate. I'm sorry, a little bit of Sanskrit in a minute. So the thing is that very, very complex grammar is used in all the constructors. Okay, very complex rules. So this is kind of binary thing. So it just looks like that. There is just no and no, and there is no with some of the, but it looks like binary, and this is just only true. Okay, 1 1 1 1 1 1. So for many it does not make any sense, but it makes perfect sense. You can just Google this and see what is the meaning of this thing. Okay, or you can ask anyone in the Twitter. And so that's it. That is the basically writing. You can say analogy. Now, what is the output of this? Now you have invested a total, many amount of time learning that. Okay, you may be seeing what are the outputs that you're getting. Okay, you're getting the outputs like assembly, object code, and binary. These three are very, very, it's very difficult to reach that. Okay, for any Sanskrit speaker and even native speakers. So that is the thing. Okay, so even in Linux, similar thing happens. Okay, even in programming and software in general, that is the thing. Now, it's not that it is impossible to write in binary. Okay, it is possible. And in Sanskrit, the similar thing is done, but very, very small portion of people do it. And even in centuries, one person is born. Okay, now and then, one person is born who is going to write the binary, who is going to write the object code. Maybe I can say like this: assembly once in 1 year. Okay, so object code you can say once in 10 years, and binary you can say once in 100 years. So that's what happens. So it is not really that accurate, but I'm just giving a general idea. So output labha. So what is the output that you can get? You've just learned many things here. So what is the output? What typical Linux user says? Okay, what a typical Linux says? It is going to be more efficient. It's going to be what? It's going to be this, that, whatever. I want to say that anything, if you learn, it is going to give you some output, and it can be only felt when you learn it. Okay, no one can explain it. Okay, when you learn it, you're going to get it. Okay, for example, if you learn Linux, then you're going to get what the what the thing is. I'm going to say what the output you're getting. No matter how much I show you, I've shown you many times that there are many labha or outputs of this one, and the Sanskrit beauties is in the next level. And well, even reading Sanskrit gives you a little bit of a feeling of enjoyment or something like that, which is not present in many languages. Sanskrit has a musical tone and something like that. So, and another thing is that it makes learning other language easier. Okay, many of the Sanskrit speakers say that. Even I say that, but I've not tried to learn any other language except English. After Sanskrit, of course, the English one has a little bit of improvement, but on the speaking side, it has been fluent. But in the vocabulary side, I'm not really interested in English vocabulary, but I want to improve it because maybe I'll go to United States at some point of time. I do not really know that what I'm going to do in my life, so that's how it works. So the other one is Unix poem. It is going to be super, super beautiful if you learn Sanskrit. The sentence is going to be super beautiful. Just look at this one. Yavat toya dhara 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 dhara. All this one, this two. It is so beautiful, right? So you're going to do Unix poem. That is the beauty in Linux. Okay, you're going to decorate your sentence. And you have so much of options to decorate, which I'm going to, say the next. That is freedom. So what is the freedom and informations that you're going to get by learning Sanskrit? The first one is kernel level. It is the downest or the hardware level. For example, when you learn Sanskrit, you just start with Maheshwara Sutrani. If you learn the Vyakaran, but I've not really learned the Vyakaran or grammar. So basically, since I've not learned the Vyakaran or grammar, how am I going to have the kernel level of understanding? Yeah, for having the kernel level of understanding, even the superficial understanding of Sanskrit or superficial understanding of the Varna system, I'm not talking about Brahmins, Kshatriya, or something like that. Varna system, I'm talking about Kahara. So basically that is the case. ga 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 ja 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 ja. The Varna system is gonna teach you about where the sounds come from and or what is the instrument in your vocal cord that's making the sound or something like that. And high level is that you have the freedom to make your own words, and there are some rules that govern it. So govern, I don't know what is the pronunciation of this word, but yeah, there are some rules. Okay, you're not going to have any, the full freedom. You're going to have freedom as GPL license give you, right? So GPL license, what it does is you should have your modified source code, and you should make an open source in GPL license. Okay, if there is some code in GPL license, you should make your modifications to that code in GPL license and publish it. So basically that kind of thing Sanskrit does. There are some rules that apply, but there is complete freedom. Okay, so complete freedom in making words, as many words as you can. Okay, possibly can. So there are endless possibilities. If you do permutation, then it's going to be countless. Now there are some people, it is very difficult to learn Sanskrit, it is very difficult, it's very difficult to learn Sanskrit. This kind of remarks are going to be given by some people, but yeah, it is very difficult to learn Sanskrit, but once you start it, it's going to be easy. Okay, as Linux, it seems to be difficult, but it isn't. Learning takes time. The only thing you should learn is learning takes time. Okay, and you should be consistent a little bit. You should be in Twitter and chat with Sanskrit speakers. You should be in platforms that assist Sanskrit speakers to learn Sanskrit. The Twitter is the best platform, I should say. Maybe Facebook is there, but Facebook, I do not see any. But there are plenty of groups on Facebook, but the person-to-person connection is more in Twitter. So Twitter is a better one. So basically that is the case in Unix 1. I've already talked about it. This is it. So I planned to do my assignments. I should sleep at 20. That is, I should sleep at 8 o'clock because I should be waking up at 2 a.m. Why? Because I should study. Okay, exams are nearby. But I could not resist myself to make this video because Sanskrit is laughing. I just like it. And yeah, that is it. I do not know how much you enjoyed or something like that, but yeah, this is it. Thank you. Let me save this file. Alright, so thanks for watching. Just share this video out to the general people. So, alright, thanks.